Hello and welcome back. I'm Count Christo, and I would love to say that I had intentionally spared you the, the slight pain of having all these front lines get set up and all these many order of battles, the Scandinavian theatre, the Western theatre, all now being set up. Military police theatre down here. We've decided to not build a navy. Things have transpired, and we've actually started the game now. But I'd be lying. I just forgot to record the second half of the episode. So, I am going to skip the previous episode rather than redoing it. I'm also going to have to apologise because I'm going to tab out now and just make absolutely sure it's actually recording, which it looks like it is. Okay, and I must apologise for that because when I tab back in, it'll just take about 20 seconds here. So, what happened to the previous episode? Basically, I set up front lines. I've put lots of troops on the border. I may have put too many troops on the Finnish border. I have no idea how many troops the kind of supply and infrastructure in that area will be able to maintain. So we'll have to see on that. If we go to the supply map mode, everyone looks fine at the moment. This is the infrastructure map mode, by the way. So note that some areas up here are grey, like that. That means you cannot move into these areas at all. Put lots of guys up here, including... Where are they? Well, I've decided not to name infantry corps anymore, because that's just too much work. But I am naming the armoured corps. So we have an armoured corps here, ready to punch through here. I think we have one over here somewhere. Or is it up here? That's right, I put an armoured corps up here to punch through to here. And hopefully that will go well. I know this is foresty, but they're not that bad in forests. So, we'll see. I put a Baltic army group here. Polish army group here. Oh, sorry, Polish army, not Polish army group. And are we missing troops here for a reason? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's slightly weaken... The thing is, the Polish garrison doesn't need to be too strong, does it? Because we're not going to go to war with Poland for a while. But that just irks me, so let's just fix it now. You come out. And now we're in the actual game, we can't teleport troops, which is a shame. So we're going to have to actually do this. Control right click, no longer... You can't strategically deploy with a single click, which is so dumb. We want to attach this to the 11th Corps. Yeah. So that guy's moving. Attach him to the 11th Corps. Who else can be spared up here? You. Attach you. Come down here. Attach yourself to the 10th Corps. Which might be full. Yeah. Alright, let's have some of these guys move up then. Instead of moving that guy down. There we go. Strategic redeployment, very similar to HOI3. It just moves you very quickly, but takes away your organisation. In this game, you have similar stats to before. There's strength and organisation. Organisation takes longer to recover in this game, though. Okay, let's deal with all these screens. So, first one, diplomacy. Not much to do here. These are our options, which replace the focus tree. We can begin the Great Purge in 37. Kills a whole bunch of people, get some manpower, gain unity. Unity being, same as HOI4. What else does it do? Kills everyone. We get disorganized officer corps until 1948. Sucks. For the motherland. If we're at war with Germany, we can get, what is that, a 6-month boost to industrial capacity, leadership modifier, land build speed, and armor build speed, which is pretty cool. The Great Patriotic War, you have to be 20% of the way towards surrendering. You get 30% more manpower, 20% territorial pride. Territorial pride is like a bonus to attack, defense on core territory. And you get 3,500 manpower, which is crazy good. Dissolution of the Third International. What is that? We've declared that Lenin's useful idiots would be more useful if they had a bit of a lower profile. They're now obeying the instructions from Moscow to say that they're not obeying instructions from Moscow. Okay, which means you get 10 organisation, 10 popularity for the communist parties. Okay. We are going to automate trade, because this is the trade screen. And it's crazy complicated. You have to do individual trade deals with everyone else to manage all these different resources. And I can't do it. We're going to automate trade. Production! Okay. Currently building some of these, but we're not having a fleet. So let's stop that. We're not going to automate deployment. Nukes. So this is how you distribute, where you place your industrial capacity. We certainly want to get none on that if we don't need it. A little bit more than you need on reinforcement. And then you right click to lock it. at least as much as we need on supplies. And actually, let's overbuild supplies quite a bit. Let's just make that go to like 6. And then production needs none at the moment. Consumer goods. This buys, if you have too little of this, you gain descent, and descent is really bad. So let's just slightly overbuild that. None on Lend-Lease, and then all the rest can go on production. So we've got 95 industrial capacity spare. So let's start building some industrial capacity. Now, awesome thing for HOI3 3, which basically died in HOI3 4, but not entirely, is this. Construction practical reduces building cost and time by 4%. So this gives us a bit of industrial practical. So technically, serial and parallel. Parallel means at the same time, serial means one after the other. Fairly simple, you know, same as circuitry. Let's say we built, you know, 70 and 84 in parallel. That would take 348 days. But if we built 2 in parallel over 21 cycles, right, so we built 40, it would take way longer, obviously. But every time you built one, your practical experience at construction goes up, and the next one builds faster. So doing lots parallel is often a good idea. So let's do 5 parallel industrial capacity for all intentional purposes forever. And let's get started on that. And I think we'll probably try and always keep these here, just so our industrial capacity is constantly going up. Note that this takes 4.77 industrial capacity to go ahead at full speed. Each time the industrial practical goes up, each time we finish one of these, that will decline, that number there. Now, what else do we need? Do we need any more air bases? Oh, air bases and industry and all this is now built in abstract and then placed on the map. It's very weird. You can build it on the map if you want to. How good is this air base here? It's spectacular. Okay, that should be fine. The range on our attack bombers, let's just check it out. If I were to deploy you here on, like, Port Strike. Okay, so their range is pretty great. Good to know. So we don't need a better airbase. We should probably build some... oh, we haven't got the ability to build escorts. Good lord. That's pretty bad. I don't think we need to build anti-air. What else do we want to build? We should probably start building some more planes. Costs a lot of industrial capacity, but we want to start building it so we start getting this light aircraft practical. So let's just queue up a bunch of both types of planes. Now, we're already using 54 of our available 95 industrial capacity. But I think that's good, because we want to start building up practical on these things. We should start building some tanks for the same reason. We want to start building up that practical experience. Obviously, we don't want to build that many. Maybe 2 at a time. Indefinitely. Okay. And now the rest can go on to infantry, I guess. Okay. These guys... I mean, these guys are dirt cheap, so let's just build lots of them. Okay. Now, we don't have enough industry to do all this. We can just get started on it, basically. Production, normal, AI control. No, normal for sure. And we're going to manually control this. Okay, that's production. Technology. I'd love to start researching better anti-tank. We don't actually have any anti-tank divisions. That's a good point. We should probably design one. If we haven't invented anti-tank, we have, yes. What's the difference between tanks and an anti-tank? Anti-tank is like Panzer Shrek, and anti-tank is actually a tank, which is good at killing down the tanks. Okay. We might need to build some anti-tank. Let's worry about that a bit later. Okay. Research. We need all this infantry tech, for sure. We're going to want mountain infantry at some point. Give me just a second. Hello, and after what was for me a brief interlude, and for you hopefully no interlude at all, if my my editing went right, we're back. Okay, what are we doing? Research. Infantry, all going. Good, good, good. Let's get some industry going. Oh, we need to distribute our stuff. So we don't need much espionage. Let's just go with, like, that much espionage. a little bit of diplomacy. What espionage does is it generates spies, which show up here, and what diplomacy does is it generates influence, which shows up here. And you spend influence on diplomatic interactions, and you send spies to other nations. Officers-wise, I think we're going to go with basically none to start with, and then we'll kind of ramp it up when we need it. And that allows us to research 19.33 things at once, and then those things will research just at standard speed. We definitely need the ability to construct infrastructure. That's ahead of time, but it should be alright. I don't think we need to do rockets. I think we're fine on that. Agriculture is important. I don't know if we start doing these ahead of time or not. We should probably get radars going. That gives less encryption but more combat efficiency. That seems good. Heavy air guns. Yeah, go on then. Theory-wise, these are the ones that are important. You don't really need to do the other ones. They basically just reduce the decay of your practical. But now land stuff, this is what matters. We're going to want attack movement. That's pretty good. This is basically our kind of typical one. More organization of special forces. Chance of counterattack. More inf organization seems important. Inf morale. People's army. Oh, maybe this one's our main one actually. Large front. Less supply consumption seems useful. Less supply consumption seems useful. And you can overstack how much you're doing. So this one we can only do a bit. We can just queue in loads. More organization for self-propelled artillery. For artillery as well. Okay, that one we want. Delay doctrine. More morale. Seems good. I don't know what morale does. Okay. Fighters. I'm not going to do any of that yet. We do want some of this though. Some fighter pilot training. Some ground crew training. And some attack. Organization. Morale. Seems good. And getting better interception seems important. Oh, radar combat impact. That's going to be helpful. Runway catering efficiency. That's when you directly attack other people's air bases. It's so cool. I hope they put that in HOI4 at some point, because it's so cool to be able to actually attack their air bases. We definitely need... Do we need transport planes? Maybe we don't. Armor-wise, anything I need to do in here? Oh yeah, better artillery, for sure. That's a priority. And we need to do these armoured car stuff so we can actually build armoured cars. And I think we're not going to do this. We do need to do the one that lets us build... what do you call them? What is it that lets us build these? Sea lane defense. Where is that? Is it the naval theory? Yes. Okay, we need that one. What else do we need? Shame we waste all the tech on these light cruisers and battleships, really, since we're not going to build any. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, we should get started on atomic research. Let's bump that right to the top. Let's just work on that permanently. That's going to take a really long time. Okay, what's next? Right, politics. So apparently, in the social liberals controlled 8% of the popularity at the start. That's pretty powerful. I'm really bad at determining, how to increase your own party's popularity and things. If you have high organisation, I think you trend towards your organisation or something, but it's not like that. Now we're in a totalitarian system. Volunteer army, I really want to change that. So the worst ones of these you're on, basically, you get less manpower and less officer recruitment. But the higher you go, then your peacetime manpower rotation goes up, but I have no idea what that means. Actually, it looks like it goes down, actually, from 10% to 1%. So I think this is just all better, basically. Economic laws. We're on basic mobilisation. The higher up you go, the less money you get, but the more other stuff you get, basically. Can't do this until one of the following. At war, Or unity is at least 60 and neutrality is below 60. Oh, we can do that as soon as we purge. Awesome. We do this one when we get unity at least 60 and neutrality below 55, which we already have because we spent all those points on it. That's awesome. So we're going to be able to go to war economy really soon. Education. We want to stick on massive education investment, I think, the whole time, unless we have serious money issues, because you get more leadership. Industrial policy laws. Mixed industry or heavy industrial focus. Basically, the differences here are if you go to this one, you cost more consumer goods during peacetime, but you get more supply throughput and more IC efficiency. But 10% more consumer goods during peacetime, I don't think it means 10% more. I think it means you require like 10% of your factories or something. Propaganda press, which means you get less unity and more counter-espionage, but there's less tendency to drift, which is pretty nice. We're on basic training, so starting experience is lower. I think we probably want to go up to like, the best training. No, we're the Soviet Union. Let's stick on basic training. This is mobilize, this is what you want to press before you declare war. It takes 30 days. And lots of manpower. I don't think it requires any like stuff, though. See, that's showing that one IC is wasted. That's because we're spending too much on reinforcement. Let's just go to exactly the right number on reinforcement. We're also spending way more than we need on supplies, but that's fine. Okay, next up, intelligence. So, first off, counter-espionage is a #1 priority, I think. Send people to us and just do counter-espionage. Find and neutralize enemy spies. And then, basically, let's just, for now, let's send it... let's send some to England. On low priority. What I want you to do against England is tech espionage. I want to steal technology from the United Kingdom. And then everyone else, neighbours, go to Finland. And in Finland, I want to do some covert operations, disrupt the national unity, and let's get some military espionage going as well. This feels good. Okay, ready to unpause? I think we are. Oh yes, we can replace our members. Okay, chemical engineering, decay, and 5% more resources, or 20% more supplies. Definitely 20% more supplies. Guns, guns, and botter. 10% less supply consumption, or exactly the same. Susceptibility to common concern, that's useless. 5% more threat impact, but 10% more ruling party support. Yeah, let's take it. Light aircraft, practical decay, or medium bomber. We'll stick with light aircraft. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Okay. Let's unpause. Okay, and you can see the day-night cycle on the minimap down here. And the game has a minimap. Shockingly. Shocking that such a game ought to have a minimap. You're not assigned to anyone. You should be assigned to the 11th Corps. Where is it? There it is. Okay, now, with planes, let's just show what you can do. So, if I sent them here, like that province, port strike... No, sorry, I think you can only... No, let's demonstrate with some fighters. Okay, so these interceptors. Focus the order on this province. I want you to patrol in search of enemy aircraft. You can either do that, or you can scramble in incoming enemy aircraft. Target a circular area. Like that area, this area here, a bit larger to cover these guys. And I want you to fight both day and night, continuously. And then you press accept, and then they do that mission. They fly that region, right? Or you can do things more complicated. You can do a cone. I want you to point the cone in that direction. It's a wide cone, or it's a narrow cone, and I want you to fight not continuously, but between this date and this date. You have huge micro-level control over all these kinds of things. So we're losing oil quite rapidly, mostly because we're converting it into energy. The Spanish Civil War. So the Spanish Civil War has kicked off. We can't send volunteers like we can in HOI4, but we can intervention, which basically just helps out one of them, but doesn't really do anything at all. Alright, the government is facing an army. Rebellions styled themselves. Republicans have decided to fight, joining in with the forces of revolution. Spanish Civil War has begun. Many countries like Germany, Italy, and the Soviet Union intervened with the forces of the conflict. So we're sending some guys over to help. We can... More efficient laws. Specialist training. Maybe we do want to do specialist training. Yeah, let's do specialist training. If we have to rush guys out later, we can go down to minimal training. For now. We are ahead of time on advanced construction engineering. You know what we should do? We should take advanced construction engineering. Where is it? There it is. And put it, not the top of the list, at the bottom of the list. And then by the time we get to it, it'll probably be more reasonable we should do it. Now, let's explain some more stuff up here. Officer ratio. So this one, wait, they're increasingly likely to what? To fall apart in combat if they take too many losses. Okay, so each time we train a new guy, our officer ratio will drop. Because we have more men and no more officers. Well, nationality is dropping. Because we're suffering from fractured government. Where can I see this? Why do we have fractured government? Or is that just a product of the fact that we have lots of different parties here? Not sure. Interesting. Hopefully the purge will help with that fractured government problem. Okay. We're gaining Diplo points. We're not gaining spies because we all... Where is he? So far we have 5 active spies in Finland, 4 in the UK. We can see all kinds of stuff about the UK and Finland because we can see them, whereas if we go on some of the others there should be question marks. Yeah, so we're not so sure about what they're doing. Whereas we're very confident what the US is currently researching. And how many supplies they have and all that kind of stuff. We're basically just going to keep overbuilding supplies until we get to 99,000, and then we're going to bring it down to just kind of stable. Got 1 covert action points. Can't attempt a coup. Finland only has 91 manpower. Now 103. Okay, with our influence, let's see. Is there anyone we could get into our faction? Republicans' brains drifting towards the Allies. If they're close to our faction, they could provide tungsten. The thing is, since we can't really help much, the Nationalists are probably going to win. Although it looks like the Republicans are doing really well so far. They've kind of taken this whole central area. We should watch this. But right, for diplomacy, I'd quite like Xinjiang in my faction. Or would I? I don't think I would like Xinjiang in my faction. Because if we don't have Xinjiang in my faction, then the Allies have no way of getting to us through India. Yeah, let's not get Xinjiang in the faction until the last minute. And then if we want them in the faction at the last minute, that's fine, we can do it then. Right, let's keep watching the Spanish Civil War. So what's going on here? Yeah, the Republicans are making gains. Not so much in the south, though. It's a close one. The Republicans might actually win. That'd be good for us. Get the Republicans to join us and help against the Germans. That's not a good encirclement for the Republicans in the south, though. Okay. Oh, I see wasted. We are wasting on reinforcements, okay. Buy that down. So these are all the trades that we're currently doing. We could embargo people, like Italy and Germany, but I want Germany to accept the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, so I don't want to annoy them. Turkey is no longer attempting to align ourselves with other faction. Maybe we could try and work on Turkey. Let's give it a go. Influence nation. Okay, so now Turkey's drifting towards the Comintern, but that costs us diplomatic points. Italy has puppeted Ethiopia. We have completed agriculture, and now, if we check this list, it's going to say that agriculture is ahead of time. So you go to the list, you go to the bottom, and you cancel agriculture. And you do that a lot. One of my most significant complaints about this entire game is the fact that that thing right there that we just did, you have to do a crap ton. Getting some free spies. Maybe we should try and steal some technology from someone else. Like Italy. I feel like Germany's counter-espionage is going to be just too good. Let's try and steal some tech from Italy. We had time on those two? Yes. Okay. We've got some guys. We had lots of deployments. Some new infantry. Oh yeah, so how's supply up here? It's actually fine. Okay. So we can deploy some more guys over here. Oh, It's alright, I can't teleport. I'm so used to the deployment screen now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oi, select them. Not them. Not. Let's just wait a second, shall we? Now get out of here. You lot. Get a core. Core goes over here. Core attaches to the 4th army. Infantry anti-tank weapons improved. Cancel them. Nice. Artillery barrel. Cancel them. Still looking like it might go the Republicans' way. Can we see how many men each has? I guess we have to go to intelligence, Europe, nationalist Spain. No, just question marks. We haven't got any spies there. Oh, that's something we should do. I think we have like a certain number of spies in each place already. Like you just start with a couple. So I think we should do like just those spies can do tech espionage. We can't bring them home, so let's just have those spies do tech espionage until they die. And that just means, you know, we might get a couple of techs from some of these people. It's not very likely, but these spies aren't going to accomplish anything just by sitting there. So we might as well. I mean, they give us some intel, but I don't think that doesn't really help much. So let's just send them to do tech espionage. And places like France, you know, we might actually get some good tech out of. See, why have we got a single spy in Guatemala, excuse me. 3 in Iraq. 2 in Ireland. But none in freaking Japan. This doesn't seem right. None in Mongolia. And the enemy doing tech espionage doing counter espionage will basically reduce the number of enemy spies in their country. This is a cool system that it's very sad that it's not implemented at all in Hearts of Iron 4. Got some even in Republican Spain. I believe Republican Spain counts as communists. No, they're actually not. So we might not be able to get Republican Spain on our side. We could at least get them definitely not on the Axis side, though. We should try a game as Switzerland. That'd be challenging. I get the impression it would be almost impossible. You can do the same kind of thing in HOI4 as HOI4, where you like play as a tiny guy. Let's not deploy him for a while. Wait till we can actually get a full core. Oh no, let's not do that, because we'll have some half full cores somewhere, won't we? Don't worry about the Eastern Core yet. Should we man these ports? We probably should, shouldn't we? You can go straight onto the Western Theatre. Come on, Republicans, I believe. I believe in you. Mountain infantry, nice. As you see, that gives us +1 infantry theory. That's another system. So down here, see we have 8 infantry theory, right? That means, can I tell me exactly how much that benefit that's giving us? No, but basically that means each of these research are faster speed, the infantry ones anyway, so none of these are infantry, but Infantry Warfare 1, maybe? No. Which of these might take infantry? None of them actually. But yeah, so our infantry techs will research faster. Like this one. Research human. No, that's human wave doctrine and land com. Oh yeah, and also combat experience helps with researching relevant technology, which is pretty cool. We should get some Marines probably. I'm pretty sure the Nationalists are going to win because they normally do. If they could just push these guys out of the south. Anyway, that is the end of that episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one.